day and welcome to the AAU TV Mid-Week News, and we are coming to you from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities in Okyere, Ghana. My name is Lydia Nyame. With me are
Jemima, Deladem, Dotsey.
And my name is Agyemang, Okyere, Darko.
Now the news bulletin on higher education. Malawi's president honored for higher education policies. And again, vocational students struggle to learn practical skills.
And in our health news, Western high-fat diet can cause chronic pain according to a new study. And also combination of early reading programs helps with kindergarten readiness.
In our tech news, African startups showcase innovations at Viva Tech 2021. We're glad you made time to watch the AAU TV Mid-Week News, and we'll bring you more of higher education, health and tech news for a short break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. If you feel like stepping out, remember social distancing. You might just save a life. Rock at home, stay safe. Wash your hands with soap under running water. Spaced out but still in touch. Check in on your loved ones and stay safe. GTP, timeless.
Welcome back from the break, and the president of Malawi, Lazarus Chakwera, has been honored by the Regional Universities Forum for Capacity Building and Agriculture for his efforts to advance higher education, particularly in the field of agriculture. President Chakwera was honored as champion of higher education in Africa by a consortium of 129 African universities in 38 countries for his government efforts in promoting inclusive higher education in Malawi and in other African countries. Reform's Executive Secretary, Professor Adipala Ekomu, in his speech at a ceremony early in June, said the Malawian government's education policies help the country to show real progress in science, technology, innovation, and agriculture. Ekomu said Malawi's rural development is in line with Reform's goal of strengthening agricultural expertise, promoting research and technology, and also aiding African governments in developing policies while advocating for universities. He added that through the president's outstanding visionary leadership, he supported agricultural policies towards achieving food and nutritional security. Since coming into power in June 2020, Chakwera has worked on the country's national agricultural policy, national seed policy, and national multi-sector nutrition strategic policy, aiming to transform Malawi's agricultural sector towards commercial farming. Well, there we have it. Malawi president honored for higher education policies by Reform. But let's first find out what Reform is and what exactly their role is.
So Reform, which is a regional university forum for capacity building in agriculture, is a project that was established in 2004 with the aim of involving university to grow themselves in line of agriculture.
Okay.
And this project is made up of 129 African universities, this project is made up of 129 African universities from 28 regions in the continent. Now let me move straight to their goals, which I would quote them. So one of their goals is to increase the participation and voice of women in agriculture, research, production, and marketing.
Okay.
That is making the voice of women heard in this line of our education.
Okay.
And also increase the use of technology to support effective decentralization learning and sharing of knowledge.
Okay.
And lastly, create a dynamic platform for policy advocacy, coordination, and resources mobilization for improved training, research, and outreach by our universities. I think Agyemang will tell us the rest.
Yeah, that's an amazing one out there with the profile of Reform and the objectives. But I'll pick it also from the fact that Reform is trying to strengthen the capacity of universities all over Africa, basically in their responses to be provided innovative responses for universities in high quality research in the field of agriculture, so we can also help the people involved in agriculture move better and more faster in what they do. Recently, Real Forum has provided so many scholarships for graduates in universities which are agriculture oriented or do agriculture programs to help them to train them to be high quality researchers, so that their findings will be able to help smallholder farmers and also perhaps create a much more innovative agricultural value chain to expand our economy. Great work done by Reform.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I want to find out what the exact higher education policies President Chakwera implemented. Jemima?
I think Agyemang will take this.
Well, let me take it ahead over there. No,
Yes.
Chakwera has become has also emerged as one visionary in Malawi. The president says, "Oh, did very well," but he has a vision to transform the Malawian economy and also influence the African continent in towards the achieving its prime goal, the Africa we want. In his small way, I would say, right back there, he has focused on agricultural potential in Malawi. Creating much more room for agricultural business. So at the moment, he aims to create more jobs in agribusiness. So the value chain, right from the farm gate to the commercial point, how can he, through research and development and innovation, create more room for effective and efficient way of doing business agricultural wise? So that's why Rural Forum is applauding him. Big ups to Executive Secretary Prof. Adipala for identifying this encircling act by His Excellency Chakwera, and how that can also be emulated by other African presidents.
Well, you know, beyond the mentioned policies you just talked about, President Chakwera says he also wants to pursue the African Union Committee of 10 Heads of State and Government, Agenda 2063. That's a group promoting education, science and technology in Africa. And he also wants the committee to promote progress with AU-linked continental education strategy for Africa 2016-2025. That's CESA, the Continental Strategy for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, and an African Union Science, Technology and Innovation Strategy for Africa, CESA 2024. So, but I want to find out what these blueprints seek to achieve in the first place.
Okay, so I'll talk about the Continental Education Strategy for Africa, which is the CESA. So the CESA, provides each educational stakeholder, the opportunity to help give their best in Africa with regards to training, and also with Continental Strategy for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, which is TVET. TVET has a multiple purpose, and one major purpose of TVET, or let me say the goal, is to prepare youth for the labor market, where they provide training programs so that the youth can equip themselves with skills and be ready for the job market.
Agyemang?
Well, I think there's a growing call for solving so many global challenges, social, economic, technological challenges, and there is a course for a science, technological, innovative strategy for Africa. I think it's about time. That's why we have the CESA 2024 for us to realize it for that year to come. But basically, we wish to accelerate Africa's effort towards a much more knowledge-based economy, where research, development, and innovation are the core drivers of whatever we do. So if we really want to be that efficient, highly skilled, full of expertise, knowledge base, we should be working now in improving our pillars to be technological oriented, and even our educational programs. So if you're doing any program you do, let's say in the university or in the school, or from the primary level, should have some type of innovation and some type of science, technology into it, so we all can contribute to our solutions tech-wise.
Well, that's true. And now, still on higher education, final year students at Kenya's technical and vocational education and training institutions have been allowed to report back to school and sit for the exam, but have expressed some concerns concerning practical training. The final year students at Kenya's TVET institutions explain that they do not engage in any practical activities as they did before COVID, and it is impossible to learn the skills they want to acquire anywhere else. Dr. Margaret Nwakima, Principal Secretary for TVET in Kenya, has been hosting meetings to discuss pandemic measures with stakeholders. It was agreed earlier in the year that most institutions' programs cannot be presented effectively online and require the tutors and students to be physically present. Several tutors and students confirmed to University World News how difficult it was to work through most of their online courses. A student named Wanjala recently opted to work at a carpentry shop near his home to gather some practical know-how. This helped him to continue learning as some institutions, including the polytechnic he attends, closed due to a rise in COVID-19 cases. An information and communication technology tutor at the same institution anonymously told University World News that online studies have been challenging, especially for students who cannot afford the required means. Some of the students lack computers that they can use at home. Some cannot afford expensive software that we use to teach, and the software is usually already installed on the school's computers at the school's expense, which means that having to study from home will force them to purchase their own, the tutor added. Well, there we have it. In Kenya, vocational students struggle to learn practical skills. But I want to first of all find out from you what you make of the students' concern, what you make of the students' concern about the lack of practical skills in their institutions.
I think I side with the students. Their concerns are legitimate.
Okay.
And, you know, having a practical skill alongside the theory, you know, gives the students some confidence on the job, you know, to be able to solve any challenge they come across whilst in the labor market. And even right now, employers are looking for students, or let me say graduates, who can actually help solve a problem, who can actually do something with what they have learned, not just the theoretical aspect of the course. So for instance, let's say a student is, you know, supposed to, let me say for instance, you are taught how to fix an engine in a book, in a video, but you don't have the engine in your home to actually, you know, go with the video or go with whatever is being taught in the book. So I think I side with the students. They're not being given the platform to do their practical work.
Okay, Agyemang.
Well, I think notwithstanding what Jemima has said with regards to the unfortunate incidents with the students, you know, COVID-19 as a pandemic actually distorted so many things and revealed how unprepared so many universities were. And this is a clear example. So TVET, as a very practically oriented environment, needs people to be always on hands-on, having hands-on skills of what they are learning. But as everybody went off campus, they also went with them. And learning as a TVET student is a very difficult one.
Exactly.
You know, you are home, you need to have your hands on these machines or these things practically, but you are home reading theory. That makes it quite difficult.
Why do I feel there's a however coming in somewhere?
So I mean, all these are parts. So I think these students have well, they have a case with regards to some perhaps irresponsible management from the institution. But you know, there were some changes that there are some parts of the story we should appreciate.
Okay.
That as an institution, they can only do their best. So whilst they were away, according to Dr. Margaret, learning didn't stop. Learning went on in the best way possible, which was that video lessons were being sent to students for them to learn whilst they were at home. But the only mismatch here, the only gap here was that students didn't have that hands-on feel with what they were learning from, which is a new thing to us. I mean, we don't learn TVET in our part of the world like that. I know in other parts of the world we have virtual simulations where you can just put on your virtual VR coder and you'll be in one particular place assessing all these systems. But it was not done in our part because it was the first time. But there was one student who did something quite marvelous. I want to applaud him, Wanjala, wherever you are. You opted to go out there, work with the video lessons you had, to do some extra practical lessons with a carpentry shop, which I believe should be something that students should be motivated to do. Self-motivated students go that far to do things for themselves. They were not told. Students were not told to go and do that, but this student did that, and to his benefit, he's not complaining like how others are complaining.
But then, Agyemang, you are forgetting that not everyone has the opportunity to get the space. You know, right now, even in our labor market, there are no jobs. People are struggling to even get a job.
No, I don't think this.
So no, wait. No, let me talk. So right now,
allow her make a point.
Exactly. Some of the jobs that, you know, have no vacancy are still skilled jobs where people can't even get that vacancy to go there. But this student was able to get himself a place to actually learn or practice what he has learned. It's good, and I applaud him for that. But the thing is, not everyone will get the opportunity. I want you to understand that.
You know, in your submission,
I'm applauding this young man for just stepping up for himself.
No, see, in your submission, I kept hearing you say the institutions made efforts. They made efforts. They made efforts. I want to find out from you on the job market. Does effort matters, or the outcome of what you're supposed to do is what matters?
No, this is towards an exam, not graduation. This is an exam.
No, I mean, but that is where you're supposed to learn your skills from. So if the only thing the school can offer you is effort, don't you think it comes with a big question mark?
Whoa. I side with you 100% on the fact that at least there could have been some shift systems where students would have been called in to just do some practical lessons at school and then go back following the protocols. I mean, that could have been better.
Yes.
But just letting them all go home and then now calling them to come and do an examination
in person
whilst they miss a practical session, which I think should be considered. I think that should be considered from the management of the institution. But however, I still want to put it to everyone that Wanjala did very well by going out there and
we are not disputing the fact that Wanjala did very well.
It should be worth emulating by every student. Go hard for yourselves.
Of course.
And I mean, we're just trying to wallow and just sympathize over matters. We could go harder at the extra mile. I think we can.
I really must say I like the way Agyemang is trying to play the devil's advocate here. Now health news is up next.
So in our health news today, a typical Western high-fat diet can increase the risk of painful disorders common with conditions such as diabetes or obesity, according to a study. A typical Western high-fat diet can increase the risk of painful disorders common in people with conditions such as diabetes or obesity, according to a research by the University of Texas Health Science Center at San Antonio. Moreover, changes in diet may significantly reduce or even reverse pain from conditions causing either inflammatory pain, such as arthritis, trauma, or surgery, or neuropathic pain, such as diabetes. The finding could help treat chronic pain patients by simply altering diet or developing drugs that could block the release of certain fatty acids in the body. Chronic pain is a major cause of disability around the world, but although fat reduction often is advised to manage diabetes, autoimmune disorders and cardiovascular diseases, the role of dietary lipids or fatty acids in pain conditions has been relatively unknown. Omega-6 fats, mainly found in food with vegetable oil, have their benefits. But Western diets associated with obesity are characterized by much higher levels of those acids in fruits from corn chips to onion rings than healthy omega-3 fats, which are found in fish and sources like flaxseed and walnuts. So that is it about Western high-fat diet causing chronic pain. But I want to find out what food substances contain polysaturated acids.
Okay, so before I come to the examples of polysaturated fatty acids, I just want to make it known that polyunsaturated acids are a type of acids that are found in certain foods, except that it comes in two different types. There's one that has a lot of omega-6 in it, and then there's the other that has omega-3. But examples of polyunsaturated acids include soybean oil, there's walnut, there's fish such as salmon, tuna, the sunflower, and then seeds.
Okay, Agyemang, would you?
Yeah, I would say that, polyunsaturated fats, various kinds, as Lydia mentioned, omega-3 and also omega-6. And mostly the omega-3 fats, fatty acids are found more in plant fat, whilst others can be found in some fish or some meats. On the other hand, omega-6 also spreads, but more into the same variations of plant and also in meat. But the thin line between omega-6 and omega-3 is that omega-3 fatty acids are much more the repairable type than the damaging one. In the sense that omega-3 is able to actually repair your tissues and also work on your health better. But on omega-3, the issue in between the two is the consumption rate. If you consume moderate levels of omega-3s, fatty acids, and omega-6, it goes to your betterment than too much. Too much of omega-6 actually can cause some damages to your heart, blood pressure times, blood pressure, inflammation, and even blood clot that can cause stroke and other heart attacks. So it is about the moderate intake of these fatty acids that can make a difference in your body, negative or positive wise.
But what is the role of these polyunsaturated acids in pain conditions?
Okay, so for omega-3, it reduces pain conditions of people with chronic diseases such as diabetes. I mean, as Agyemang has already said, it depends on how you take it. If you take it too much, perhaps you end up experiencing certain side effects. So if it's moderate, you are likely to get this benefit.
So these are the normal, very rich, fatty products that we see. We see the flaxseed oil, sunflower oil, corn oil, soybean oil. When somebody goes to a grocery store and say, I want to buy sunflower oil, we don't buy the normal oil, we buy sunflower oil because we believe that oil is rich and much more better for our body. But even into research, coconut oil, and palm fruits, palm fruit seeds oil, we call here Agyemang and Kube, which is coconut. These are rich oils that medically do not have so much, or they don't actually hold so much of omega-6 and omega-3. They are rather better for us, but we don't really patronize these kind of oils. But we like sunflower oil or flaxseed oil, which are high in omega-3 and omega-6, which are not so, if you don't take them so much well, perhaps can go against you.
Okay, so still on health, a new study shows the combination of two early reading programs had positive effects on preschool students entering kindergarten. A study published proves that two early reading programs had positive effects on preschool students entering kindergarten in Cincinnati Public School over a 3-year period. The two early reading programs are Reach Out and Read, through which children receive a new book and guidance about reading at home during well visits from newborn through to age 5, and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, which emails new books to the children's home once a month from birth through to age 5. Each of these is well established at Cincinnati's Children's Hospital Medical Center and across the nation. With this early study, we suggest that when combined and sustained, these two programs have the potential for effective supporting the development of pre-literacy skills of large populations at risk children, improving kindergarten readiness, and ultimately success in school and life, said the MD of the Division of General and Community Pediatrics at Cincinnati's Children's School. I can't stress enough to parents the importance of reading with your child starting at birth. Just a few minutes a day, reading aloud and interacting with your child over books can make a huge difference in helping them prepare and be ready for kindergarten. So that is it about how early reading programs help kids before their kindergarten school going age. But my question is, what are the importance of reading at home with your children before they start their kindergarten?
You know, Jemima, I think this is why I wish we have a mother or a father joining us in the set to tell us how exactly that helps. But I mean, we are going to try, Agyemang, right?
Yes, we'll try.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, so personally, I think reading to your children before they start kindergarten, first of all, increase their kindergarten preparedness, or let me say the education preparedness. Because I mean, in school, when they enroll at first like that, they read a lot. So if you give your child that kind of education right when they are very young, I think you indirectly put them ahead of their mates.
Yes,
because while others haven't read, they have. And I also think it would, I mean, when you go to our various schools, you realize that sometimes, if I'm right, sometimes some of the brighter students are students who had these experiences when they were young. Because before they came to school, they already had an idea of what they were going to do exactly. And I also think it opens up their minds because we all know the benefits of reading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's important to understand kids and their primes. You know, the human brain divided into two: the left side, the right side, and each side has what they do: recollecting of visuals and one recollecting of perhaps words and letters. So if you were able to assess all these, then the study is in the right place.
Which side takes in the letters? I just
the most important thing is that you know that this brain perhaps is a fertile ground to receive anything. So if you speak to your children at that very prime age, they talk to you back, right? They recollect your names and all that. So imagine you seeing the opportunity in this and now reading to your children novels, stories, and then allow them to actually see something wonderful. This goes a long way to enrich their minds, their vocabulary. As children, they are imaginative and creative. I think these are things that we should be doing as parents to prepare our kids.
It's true.
To be bright people, you know. Very important.
So these are things we should be doing to prepare our kids for their kindergarten school-going age. Don't go anywhere as we bring you science and technology news after this short break.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. If you feel like stepping out, remember social distancing. You might just save a life. Rock at home, stay at home, stay safe. Wash your hands with soap and running water. Spaced out but still in touch. Check in on your loved ones and stay safe. GTP, timeless.
So in our tech segment, Viva Tech, the hub for technology, is back since Wednesday, June 16th. For all the days, 4 days or more, the promising international innovations were showcased at Porte de la Versailles in Paris. And Africa also made a trip represented by the DRC Congo. This was the wish of Viva Tech, to the co-founder and Moroccan-born Maurice Levy.
Viva Tech, the hub for technology, is back. Since Wednesday, June the 16th, and for 4 days, the most promising international innovations were showcased at Porte de Versailles in Paris. Africa also made the trip, represented by the DR Congo. This was the wish of Vivatech co-founder and Moroccan-born Maurice Levy.
There has always been a form of exploitation, even contempt, a somewhat haughty side when it comes to Africa, and we are only interested in the exploitation of its resources. And I said to myself that there are still innovations, intelligence, talent, quality people in Africa. It is absolutely necessary to promote them. Tech is something that is multicolored, which is a representation of the world, and this energy that is spread everywhere creates jobs, creates wealth. Well, it also exists in Africa, as well as in Europe or elsewhere.
An opinion shared by Eberhard Kolungele, DR Congo's Minister for Digitalization. For him, the solutions to Congolese problems will come from the Congolese people.
In our country, there are a lot of rights, taxes that were created by legal texts, but which have difficulty being collected. So much that we have the impression that the budgetary resources are always weak, because the capacity to mobilize revenue is weak. But if it is weak, a paradigm shift is needed. To change the paradigm, you have to use the means that allows you to capture the maximum. And that's where we have two platforms like Coordinate and several others who have found, developed collection solutions adapted to our realities. They know the difficulties of our neighborhoods and they know the difficulties of our businesses. They know how to get in touch with businesses, with citizens, to be able to collect and bring back. And rest assured that where we have started solutions, well, we have really advanced a lot.
So there we have it there with the African News reportage, and we saw so much of innovative works being done at the Viva Tech 2021. We look forward for the next one next year. But let's see what do we find? What can we bring from this year's Viva Tech 2021? And what are some of the things we can learn and help with the youth involvement with the Viva Tech?
I think currently, you know, our youth are more involved in technology, and most people want right now, that is what is, you know, involved exactly since the COVID. Everything has been, you know, technology. So I think it's going to help the youth who are interested in technology to actually take it up and also, you know, get some skills for them to actually prepare them for employment. The
African governments can actually take advantage and then open the economy and create more technological businesses.
It's true for the youth to actually go into it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I also think beyond creation of employment, it's also going to provide tech-driven solutions, especially for industries who need certain interventions. I mean, I think this would help address some of their issues. I mean, trust you me, I mean, a lot of problems can be addressed with tech. So this year's Viva Tech Showcase, I think, would also help provide tech-driven solutions to industries who need it the most.
Great.
Well, and that is where we end today's discussion and news. And in wrapping up, let's take a quick recap of our headlines. On higher education, Malawi's president honored for higher education policies. And again, vocational students struggle to learn practical skills.
In our health news, Western high-fat diet can cause chronic pain, according to a study. And also, combination of early reading programs helps with kindergarten readiness.
And in our tech news, African startups showcase innovations at this year's Viva Tech 2021.
And now, thank you very much for staying with AAU TV News as we keep you informed. My name is Lydia Nyame.
And I am Jemima Deladem Dotsey.
My name is Agyemang, Darko, and we're glad you made time to watch the AAU TV Mid-Week News. Please watch more of our programs and stay safe. Bye.